When tensions are high, I tend to get higher. Not because I'm a liar, but I'd rather get higher than get fired. We all know, as humans, our emotions fluctuate through trial and error during stressful reasons or situations. But also for things we cannot control. There's a moment in time when you tend to recollect your past decisions. But that's not right now. I tend to question everything I do. Question why am I living? Why am I doing this? Questioning if it's really worth it or not. And then those questions stop because I tend to gravel and think about the plot. Which not is the reason I started was to end, or is the reason I started was to commend? Commend the things that I could not see, the things that I was meant to be. Not only free, but not only to speak, but to feel his self heave the willing of the being. Conceptualize. As my pulse is beating and my time is fleeting, I tend to figure out that life has no meaning. Oh shit. The meaning of life is there is no meaning. You create your own meaning. What was the quote? It was a great man said, there is no essence in existing, or is it the existence of the essence? Meaning you create the meaning of your life. You create it. Who said that, bruh? I don't think I said it correctly, but I'm gonna figure it out. Hold on. Bro, honest to God, truth, I cannot remember who it was, bro. And I don't remember the quote correctly either. Am I cooked? It's time to get down and nasty. Humble beginnings, we say, humble beginnings. even see shit at this height or at that angle. Wait a minute. I'm an innovator. I'm an innovator. I am an innovator of some sort. So are we not an innovator? Are we not? I would call myself a prop G. Okay, let's get to the dishes. I'm not here yapping. Slavery. Damn, that's loud as a bitch. God damn it, dude. Just kill me now. Just kill me fucking now. Like shit, bro. Watch me bend this spin. That's my mind. Shut up. You know, some people just don't need a phone, and I'm one of them. I feel like one day I'm gonna be recording, and I'm just gonna go through an episode. I swear, and then everything I said is just gonna lose its credibility, because they'll be like, this motherfucker is crazy. But some of the most in creativity, God, what? Some of the most creative people are the most craziest, you know? You need insanity to create creativity. Somebody write that down. Write that down. Write it down. Write it down. They said football was my calling. Hell. I was a real street dude back up in there. I'm George. He's listening. Really, we let the fuck wrong with it, nigga. Oh shit. I'm getting lightheaded, goddamn. Oh, real nigga shit. I'm just doing dumb shit. But hey, man, you never know what's going on in somebody's household, so be kind to all. supposed to be writing books, right? One about my life and 2 other books for the creators that made this fuck up. You know what I mean? But I low-key want to make a book or like a non-fiction book. That kind of resembles my life, but instead of having grounded characters, it would be characters of my own doing. And then I was gonna name the so-called bad guy the noise, right? And then once the noise creeps into the character, their face turns into, like their eyes turn into static, and their memories start to get wiped, and they just stand there, and you won't know until you turn around, until you hear the noise. Then that's when you know it's too late. But we're gonna figure it out. Boy, that shit got to me, bro. I thought I saw something. Oh, yeah, you know how you see something on the corner of your eye, but it's not there. Yeah. This will be a murder weapon later down the years. Fuck boy got tendonitis in his shoulder. In his shoulder. This is how you wash your knives. Sharp. Away. Like a samurai sword. But I keep on seeing something, bro. I think it's the chair. This is how you get the handle. Bro. Every time we're inside this building, I'm always washing dishes. I don't know why. It's like a chore at this point. When you cook a lot, you make a lot of dishes. No matter if it's for yourself or others. You know what I'm saying? Wipe the DNA off before you go for the kill. Bitch should be so clean you can almost see your reflection in it, motherfucker. Alright. I don't want this video to get age restricted, even though it's not monetized. You know what I'm saying? What? Step in. And who say black man can't shoot? You said nobody? Shut your ass up. Really? I think for entertainer, you gotta be some level of crazy, you know? Like, you better have some type of poison. If it's not like a vice, if it's not like lust, greed, envy. I think lust, greed, and envy are like the top 3 things that are entertainers, rappers, and I think just in general of anybody that's famous has, you know. But in some degree, I feel like you need the enviness, you need the greed of wanting more, you know, to really put yourself above others. Maybe that's just me. you can use those evil and decrepit tendencies to and bend it to your will to make something positive. Your hatred for something can also be a positive outlook. Like your hatred for murderers and villains. Like, it could make you want to be a police officer or a private investigator or a bounty hunter, or a bloodhound or something like that. I think it's always a great comprehension of figuring out who you are as a being, not as a person that provides clarity and comfortability to somebody else, but who you are as a person, you know? Like, what gives you that sense of urgency to do something with your life, you know? Figuring that out first before giving to others is the best thing possible. Not for your mental or your psyche, but just for you. But in the area or the era we are now, it's a tendency for hyper individualism, where you're looking out for yourself, which you know, too much of a good thing can also be bad. So even with that, I tend to see that because you need community. You know, you need unity. You need a lot of things to create something. You know, two negative can create a positive somehow. But with that, it's always me first. You know, look out for yourself, because who has your back but she? You know, there's a morbid way to say this. You know, you were born alone, you're gonna die alone, unless you're a twin. Then you're born with somebody. But honestly, I'm like full on. Right? I feel like we're in an epidemic of hyper individualism to the point where it's not a feeling anymore. It's not I feel this way or I tend to see these tendencies of being what I want to be. It's not that anymore. It's not a feeling. It's a known fact that everybody's out for themselves. And you can call that selfish, and to some degree you can, but even with the selfishness, you have to see where it's coming from. It's coming from a place of good, you know? It's coming from a good place. Because if you always, a people pleaser, if you're a people pleaser, do the people please you? Or are you pleased that the people are pleased? You know, you're a people pleaser, but sometimes being pleased by other people is not the great thing. A wise man once told me, the environment may build you, but it did not create you. You know who said that? I did.